that we become what the people of South Africa needs here. We also have a commission that's going on. There's huge amounts of budget that has been allocated to it. We also know that historically, commissions, they just end up being a report and nothing happens. We want this parliament, our process, our findings, our recommendations are going to be binding. We also don't want that situation of where parliament has just become a rubber stamp, where political parties use their numbers to cover up the corruption of their colleagues here in the country. So we're just asking that we look into this matter, and you just advise us on what happened at the back of the office, that we have the witness here that has told us in his own statement that it was a rush job and we didn't give him sufficient time to prepare. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I see.
Thank you, Honourable Chair, honourable members, Honourable Mates. The witness, Mr. Nkabinde, when he last appeared, ran into some difficulty explaining some of the dates. These difficulties were discussed by honourable committee members, and subsequently, Chair, you ruled that the hearing would be discontinued and that Mr. Nkabinde would be given an opportunity with his legal team to make adjustments to what he had told the committee and what's in his statement. He had used an unfortunate term like that some of these dates were a thumbsuck. He had also complained that he didn't have access to his devices because of the search and seizure operation. And he was then literally sent back by you, Honourable Chair, on behalf of the committee to reconsider and to come back. He has done so in the form of a supplementary affidavit where he addresses his efforts to confirm the precise dates and information that was given the last time. And in our view, as evidence leaders, he's entitled to do so in the form that he does. Yes, the supplementary affidavit may have come in late. It was also late for us because we again only this morning had the opportunity to consult Mr. Nkabinde and his legal team. And we would respectfully submit that we are ready to proceed today. And Mr. Nkabinde is here willing to assist the committee. The timing and dates of his appearance today, as you well know, Honourable Chair, it's not up to the evidence leaders. It's up to the Honourable Committee and yourself. You do discuss it with us, and we have done our best to accommodate the schedule, the changes in the schedule, sometimes late, sometimes last minute. We've done so to get the work of the committee done. In relation to the quality of witness statements, I don't make any comment. I think the Honourable Committee and its members can make up their own minds as far as that is concerned. All I want to say is that the team that we have, with the resources and capabilities at our disposal, we have done our best. We've sat long hours. We sit weekends. They sit at night. We have to engage not only with witnesses, but as you can see for yourself today, they often have an entourage of lawyers and assistants, which they're entitled to, and we also have to deal with them. So it is so that at times witness statements come in late, but there's little we can do about that, Honourable Chair. Thank you.
Maybe before I rotate the matter, let me say this. Honourable members, yesterday after our meeting, I presented this item to you to inform you that the legal team has called me and said that there is a possibility that they could bring Mr. Nkabinde this week. And then I spoke to them and said, if there is agreement between the parties, because we said to him that he will come back within 10 days. If there is agreement between the parties, let's have that happening. We will take the matter to the committee for ratification. And that is exactly what we presented yesterday, to say the committee should ratify the decision that would have been made to have him here. And the committee agreed that they ratified that decision. And my understanding was that the honourable members understand we are pressed for time. We no longer have any time available, and we are still waiting for the extension. But we must be able to have our key witnesses appearing in the event that extension is not granted. Some significant work must have been done. But look, even when that explanation is made, it does not take away accountability from the chairperson of the chairperson of the committee is responsible for everything that happens here. And where there would be mistakes, I will not even try and pass the buck to somebody. I will take responsibility for those mistakes that would have happened. Like Honorable Mathais says that maybe we could have shared that in the WhatsApp group to say, members, there is this proposal that Mr. Nkabinde should come back to the committee this week. I take responsibility for that, and I cannot even shift it to anybody. If there is any person that the committee must crucify, it's me. And secondly, I want to indicate that some of the matters that Honorable Mathais is raising may not be the matters that we deal with here. We can deal with those in the committee meeting when we discuss the budget that is allocated and so on and so forth. The fact that the witness is here and we have not received any application on their part to request extension means that, or where I'm sitting, I can assume that there has been agreement between them and the legal team that they will appear here today. And with regard to the quality of the statement, I think the approach that we should take is that honorable members are here. They can probe the witness. If there are issues that they are not happy with, they can indicate so that the witness is not responding to questions. I may not be persuaded on the statement that the witness has made, because we cannot force the witness to write the statement anyhow. The witness writes what they think the committee deserves to get. I think we spoke to the witness last time when he was here. He's a human being. He's a responsible and reasonable public servant by presumption. And obviously he must have done his best to give the committee the information that it deserves, especially with regard to the material weaknesses that could have been there in his statement last week regarding the chronology of events, which we said they must go and improve. So I think just one point that you may have to clarify, which Honorable Mathai spoke to, is with regard to what is called a supplementary affidavit. I think that is the point that you can clarify.
Sorry, Honorable Chair, I just missed that. You want me to clarify why there's a supplementary affidavit?
Yeah, and what is its status?
Because it differs from his main affidavit. He explains the reason why. You will recall, Honorable Chair, there was an issue with the dates. The committee debated it with him and amongst themselves quite extensively. And he's obviously taken that on board with his legal team and is now sought to correct that. And he will explain how he's corrected it, what his sources were. And that, Honorable Chair, is typically done under oath in a sworn statement. When you make more than one sworn statement, you would usually style it a supplementary statement or an additional statement or a supporting statement. And in this case, they elected to call it a supplementary affidavit. So the main affidavit still stands and is before the committee, and the supplementary affidavit serves to supplement and to explain some of the initial issues that arose from the main statement. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, with that explanation, I'm going to circulate to the members and then hear what their views are. Honorable Nhlanhla.
Thank you very much, Chair. And Chair, I think we must indicate that we take the concerns by Honorable Matthias in good light, because I think it's one of those regular checks that we always must do to safeguard the credibility of the process. But I think it is important to reflect a bit that part of what was the crux of why we deferred the witness was the issue relating to him having the numbers of Mr. Mkhwanazi in Lusikisiki, whilst he claims that he has got the numbers of Mr. Mkhwanazi preparing for the Stilfontein thingy. So there was a mismatch about the dates, which actually appeared that the witness might be misleading the ad hoc. And I think in the supplementary statement, the witness has thoroughly explained that the dates which actually ultimately led him to be in possession of the contacts of the men in question. So I think that part has been clarified, Chair. And also, Chair, we as the committee have actually advised Mr. Nkabinde to state plainly in the statements the challenges he's facing in soliciting some of the information that is required in the Ad Hoc Committee. And Mr. Nkabinde has also done that to an extent that went to an extent of saying He even went to an extent of writing to Brigadier Gunene, who is the applicant for the seizure of his gadgets, and he didn't get any assistance. So we would have said, Chair, that you must plainly explain to us in the statement that you have found these challenges in actually soliciting some of the information, and he has done that. Chair, it is correct that when we released him last week, it was plainly communicated to the witness that would recall him within a space of 10 days, and we have done that. Also, it is true, Chair, that we are not enjoying a luxury of time. In 7-8 days, our term of office is coming to an end. Of course, subject to what the House would decide on. So I think, Chair, it is important to note those things and say we must proceed noting what Honorable Matesi is saying. And just saying in a number of witnesses that are still coming, we must always avoid such kind of hiccups. Some are naturally going to come. It's a given fact, but it is very important to have a very innovative way of navigating through the challenges we encounter during this period. So, Chair, we say as we proceed noting what Matesi is saying and actually thanking the witness for having been able to provide this kind of crucial information under pressure like this. And it's a supplementary statement that deals with particular issues. The statement that mainly we're going to use is the main statement. It was just correcting some of the issues we have raised with them and the legal team. So thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, Chief Whip. Okay, Honorable Nombalo.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I think I must start by saying that our ultimate goal is that the work of this committee must not be derailed unnecessarily. We don't want to fail South Africans by subjecting this committee to an unending process, to a monotonous process with no progress. But that, Chair, is withstanding the fact that our confusion, which we thought is going to be clarified by the SC, is that insofar as we understand the supplementary statement, it does not only correct areas that were identified by the Ad Hoc Committee in a previous meeting. It goes further because our understanding is that in terms of the legal principle, a supplementary statement is wherein you supplement what has not been addressed in an original statement. In other words, you are not amending the original statement, because a statement that has been made under oath cannot be amended. It can only be supplemented. For instance, if you did not mention the address wherein you stay in an original affidavit, you can make a request that, may I draft a supplementary affidavit which will add the address. We are making an addition. You are addressing shortfalls. So when we read and dissect this supplementary affidavit, it starts from, if I have the correct one, it starts from the first, from paragraph 1 until paragraph 78. So our understanding, Chair, was that a supplementary affidavit would actually come with maybe new aspects which have not been addressed in an original affidavit, to say, I forgot to mention that on this day this is what happened. I forgot to mention just those areas. Now, to us, this is a new statement. And if we can get some clarification on that, Chair, but obviously our firm view is that the work of the committee must not be derailed. We desire to move our work expeditiously, but we need that clarification from the SC. What happened, SC? Is this a new statement? And if it's a new statement, how many amendments have been made? Where are those amendments only related to the areas or to the gray areas that were identified previously by this committee, or the witness went further by making further amendments? But if he added some information, there is no crisis, which has not been addressed in the original statement. There is no crisis. A crisis can only arise in the event where the witness has chosen to amend some amendments or some remarks that he made in the previous statement. So we need that clarity, Chair. Thank you very much. Before we suggest whether we can move on or we can stop the today's proceedings.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Just in response to Honorable Novalo, this is not a new statement. The original statement that served before the Honorable Committee on the last occasion, that still stands. In the supplementary statement today, Mr. Nkabindi clarifies, and I want to refer to his statement. He says at paragraph 3, the supplementary statement is deposed to in amplification of my main statement dated 10 November 2025, filed with the committee. I further submit, that's in paragraph 4, that this statement is intended to clarify the dates on which the committee raised issues and required additional information when I appeared before it on the 13th of November. As will be gleaned from the supplementary statement, I still do not have access to my devices that were taken during the recent search and seizure at my house on the 10th of October 2025. I have, however, had to make alternative arrangements, as I will explain below, to verify some of the dates. Any dates not specifically corrected herein should be noted as remaining unchanged from the main statement. At paragraph 5, in this supplementary statement, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement and ask that they be read together as they relate to the same issues and facts, and the clarification and or rectifications be noted accordingly. The purpose of this statement is also to ensure that the committee is fully appraised of the challenges encountered, including delays, limited access to essential devices, and insufficient time afforded to prepare a proper response. Then on page 13 of the supplementary affidavit, there's a heading, my efforts to confirm the precise dates and information for the committee, and that is then explained. There are two main aspects that I will refer Mr. Nkabindi to, and they relate to the dates issue, recording his communication with Mr. Mkhwanazi, and the other aspect is in relation to the phone call from General Mkhwanazi.
Thank you. I think that clarifies the matters, Honorable Novembe.
Yeah, no, Chair, we hear the explanation. However, Chair, our concern has not been allayed to this point. Because, Chair, our understanding is that in a supplementary statement, you don't make repetition of what is contained in an original statement. What was supposed to happen here, Chair, is that this supplementary statement was supposed to acknowledge the content contained in the original statement, not to repeat it word by word. And then they just write a topic of issues that they supplement, facts that they supplement. It was not supposed to be this long, Chair. We're not supposed to have an introduction. We're not supposed to have a background of the deponent, because that has already been clarified in an original statement. So it creates a lot of confusion because it gives an impression that this is a statement that is amending the original statement. Because if it is not amending the original statement, it should not repeat the same facts that have been, or the same averments that have been addressed under this original statement. It should only deal with a new supplemented information and say, we note paragraph 1 of the original statement, we note paragraph 2, we note paragraph 3, and write a new heading, supplementary information, and you supplement. It was supposed to be only 2 pages, Chairperson, but now it's a repetition of this statement, and it creates a lot of confusion.
Yeah, no, I hear the point that you are saying. If you look at number 5, it says, in this supplementary statement, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement and ask that they be read together as they relate to the same issues and facts, and the clarification and rectifications to be noted accordingly. What the legal team might have done was to bring the contents of the earlier statement after this preface, so that in the event we want to make reference, you don't have to be having 2 documents in front of you, but the contents of the previous statement have not been changed. That is why it is written there at number 5, the way you are saying. I agree with you that in terms of the structure, you would have wanted maybe 1 or 2 pages. But the other, am I correct, SC, that the contents of the previous statement have been included in this supplementary statement?
Indeed, Honourable Chair,
Yes.
it's confirmed by Mr. Nkabinde. And in the ordinary course, if there's any material differences that constitute contradictions in the supplementary, and it contradicts what he says in the main, then clearly he will have to take responsibility for that, and any adverse finding that is made, will be made. As evidence leaders, I think I've explained it a few times. We interact, we consult, we do a draft, we send it to the witness concerned. The witness concerned, almost in all our cases now, have their lawyers. They look at it. Sometimes they make minor amendments. Other times they redraft the statement completely and send us their statement. And it is not for us as evidence leaders to tear it up, throw it in the bin and say, no, we don't accept what you say in your statement. Provided they do so under oath and they take responsibility for it. Our job is to lead them according to their statement, and for the rest, the honourable members then debate it with them and ask them questions.
Chair, no, I think the SC is not helping us at all. If anything, he is just exacerbating our confusion. Because 1, it's your responsibility, SC, to guide the witness on legal technicalities. The witness has a responsibility to produce content of his statement, but to guide him on the legal technicalities is your responsibility. So you can't run away from that. Secondly, Chair, we still insist that this is not a supplementary affidavit. This is a new statement. And this statement amends this statement. Because if you say on paragraph 5, Chairperson, of the supplementary affidavit, you are not going to repeat issues which have been addressed in the original statement, but on the following paragraphs, you repeat them. Issues which have been addressed on the previous statement. That means, and when you repeat them, that means you are amending. And we are saying, Chair, by law, that is not allowed. You can't amend a statement that has been sworn. I mean, a statement that has been made under oath. It's illegally wrong, Chairperson. And I'm so disappointed that the SC does not address that, is shifting the blame to the witness as if he can take anything that comes from a witness, even a love letter, which has not been made under oath. It's his responsibility. We must agree on that. So, Chair, but like we said, that our intention here is not to delay. Maybe we can note all these things for deliberations, because we really want to proceed. We have an interest of questioning this witness, but these observations that we have made here are worrisome. And what exacerbates our concern is how the SC is reacting to our concerns. He's trying to belittle them and he is being dismissive, whereas he has a responsibility to guide witnesses on legal technicalities.
Okay. Is your hand up, Honorable Skhosana? Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I'll summarize, Chair. You know, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has put cat among the pigeons. We cannot fail him here. And I'm disappointed as well, you know, that the witness beside their SC is got a legal team and they know the law. They know exactly what we are talking about. What my colleague has spoken about here, if you look at the original submission and you look at the supplementary, completely, it was not, it was only about the dates which the witness told us here, that he told the legal team, meaning our legal team, that he was not sure because of the gadgets. But when you look at the document, this supplementary, it's replacing the original sworn affidavit. And it can't be right, Chair. But anyway, for the sake of progress, I'm not sure whether legally this thing is not going to have impact on us as a committee, but really it's disappointing and it's not a laughable issue. You know, we are dropping the ball, and we always mention this thing on the other committees, that some of our professionals are really failing us. And this is an egg on our face as well, because we are not here to have a gossip, you know. We are here to do our work, and we must represent our people to the fullest. We cannot be seen as, you know, that we are, like my colleague said, it's not a love letter. This is a serious document. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Cameron.
Thanks, Chair. I think we should just proceed. You know, the SC is not here to be a legal advisor to Mr. Nkabende. He's got his own legal team. They need to do what they need to do. Let's move on. He can take responsibility for whatever he says. We're not there to do, I mean, if we have to go into legal advice for all of the witnesses, would be here until Easter of 2029. So let's move forward. Thanks, Chair.
Honorable Matthews.
Chair, we just want to make it note that we didn't raise this matter because we are trying to delay processes or we want the witness to go home today. It was to make a correction to that statement.
Yeah.
And the bigger point here is that we can sit through the whole day today. And when we do our findings and when we do our review, when we do our findings and we do our recommendations, we can be taken under review and our whole process of what we are doing. So we just want to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And we did the same thing when General Mkhwanazi was here and he came with the supplementary statement and we had to go and say, just go and fix it and make it as a statement. So for the sake of expediency, it mustn't be at the sake of legal processes. And I agree that the senior counsel is trying to pass on blame. We do understand that the witness has his own legal team, but it's something very simple. Where you properly advise, can a witness come here and say, I thumbsucked? He's not answering. He's saying legally, can a witness come and say to us under oath, I thumbsucked the statement and the next minute we supplemented it? Yes or no? I don't understand how was the witness advised to do a supplementary statement and not submit a new statement. It's not even, most of that is just cut and paste and just redo it. This whole process of us spending 1 hour going back and forth is so unnecessary because it just needs to be fixed. How do we accept a supplementary statement? And the senior counsel is not telling us how he decided to put this witness down with a supplementary statement, because he could have came to us and say, the witness is not cooperating, he wants to give us a supplementary statement instead of a new statement. We are quite happy to proceed, but we don't want to proceed under conditions that we are going to be held accountable later. And perhaps the senior counsel must tell us that if we are taken, our report is taken under review, what recourse are we going to have? And how is he going to be held accountable for the advice that he's given us that we must accept and we must proceed with a supplementary statement? We want to proceed. Can we just go and fix that statement? I'm sure it won't take long, and remove that word supplementary and make it as a new statement to the committee. That's all. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sauls, yeah, I will come to you, Chief Whip.
Chair, my understanding of the difference between what we're dealing with now and what we dealt with General Mkhwanazi's statement is that he had a statement submitted to the Nhlanhla Commission, and then he had a statement to us. Then he phrased the statement to us as a supplementary statement to the statement that he made to the Nhlanhla Commission. And we had a problem with the fact that he calls the statement to us a supplement to that statement. We are looking for a main statement in total. So it was for that reason that they had to go back and then come back, and we considered the entirety of what he submitted to Nhlanhla and to us as the main statement. The difference here is that the witness had to go back and clarify a section within his statement that he said was thumbsucked because he didn't have access to his phones and other resources. The committee then allowed him to go back and clarify that. He comes back today and calls that parts that he has clarified a supplement to the main statement. It doesn't replace the main statement. Now, Chair, of course, I'm not an attorney, so I'm going to leave the judgment on the legal technicalities of the document to the SC. If the SC says it satisfies the legal technicalities, I've got to believe him. Where I make a contribution is on looking at what the witness says in the statement, and I want to read it. He's explicit in the designation of the statement. He says, he calls it supplementary witness statement of Cedric Nkabinde. That tells me he's telling us that's a supplement. He then also says that it must be read together read together as they relate on the same issues and facts. He then further says, in this supplementary statement, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement. He then says, where I have not corrected something, it remains as stated in my original statement. So my understanding is that these two statements now forms the main statement. Then on the issue of did Mr. Mkhabinde have enough time? He did have enough time in context of the fact that as the committee, we don't have the luxury of time. So the witness had to consider it as a matter of urgency. When he left on Thursday, from that moment of leaving on Thursday, he had to start working on getting confirmation. So he had Thursday, then he had a full day on Friday. Then he had 48 hours, full working days, Monday and Tuesday. That is a lot of time. And then for police, I would think for information such as this, there should be access over the weekends. But that's debatable. But given that he had a full Friday, a full Monday and Tuesday to get clarification or confirmation, in my view, that's enough time. On the issue of Brigadier Kunene from the PKTT, who has not responded back to grant access to the witness to assist in verifying the statement, that is problematic. To date, you have Brigadier Kunene not having responded at all. The question is the PKTT interested in assisting this committee then to investigate properly the veracity of the allegations? So that is a big question. I conclude by saying, Chair, based on the above, we should proceed. Thank you.
Honorable James.
Thank you, Chair. It is worrying that a chief of staff cannot take responsibility for his actions. We are in this mess because he undermined this committee in the first place. If anything, he's had an advantage over all the other witnesses because he was given additional time, which he still today comes with a supplementary question, a supplementary statement. We are still subjected to a thumb-sucked statement. For as long as we have this incorrect statement with incorrect dates, with thumb-sucked information in here, we are still subjected to it. I don't understand, in the supplementary statement, it says here, and this is where it confuses me, I do not repeat the facts stated in my main statement. Those aren't facts in the main statement. That is thumb-sucked information. So I would have expected that the supplementary statement today would have read statement, and we would have only had one statement before us. So the outcome of today's proceedings, he will have to bear the consequences of it. That is number one, but we cannot continue delaying. We need to move on for the sake of progress. And that's where I leave it. Thank you, Chair.
Chief Whip.
No, thanks, Chair. Good morning to colleagues and Mr. Mkhabinde and his team, and of course our legal team. No, Chair, I think Honorable Souls has dealt with the first part of what I wanted to raise. The distinction between how we handled the statement of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi during his appearance to us and the one that is before us. So let me just emphasize one point in that regard, that in this case, we were given a statement ourselves, which was not coming from anywhere else except from the witness. And there were concerns about the accuracy of certain information, as a consequence of which we then agreed that the witness must be given more time to obtain that information. I think we've got to depart from the understanding that to the extent that it was possible, he has managed to secure the information that was required. We now have it with us. The dilemma that members are raising, which I fully understand, is that but before us today is our original statement or his original statement and the supplemental and statement. And the question is not just of form, that there are two,
It's also about the content, from what I think some of my colleagues have raised. Now, this is how I suggest we proceed, Chair. One, I think we should allow the witness to give an indication as to whether the supplemental entirely erase the main one. That's number one. Or he proposes that we must interface with them as one document.
He says they must be read together
Yeah.
in the supplementary statement.
Okay, sure. If that is what he says, I want to suggest that we proceed in that direction. It may very well be that as we proceed, we may discover inconsistencies between the one and the other. And if that happens, and if that situation arises, it will be incumbent upon him to clarify us why that and how does he want us to understand where there's an inconsistency. So that's what I want to propose, that in support of all my other colleagues, that we should proceed, but our proceedings must be guided by the fact that it is on his court to guide us when we raise matters that are contradicting between the two documents. So I want to appeal, Chair, that we don't take a break and start working on it again, but we proceed with that understanding that as we pick up contradictions, the witness must help us to interact with those contradictions. But I accept and I understand the concerns as raised originally from Honorable Matthews and all other colleagues. But my appeal is that notwithstanding all of those concerns, let's find a way in which we can proceed without taking a break to deal with the matter. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Honorable Novembe.
No, Chair, we are not far apart from the submissions that have been made by the latter speaker. But we just want to correct one thing, Chair, so that we don't proceed on a wrong note here.
Yeah.
The reason why the SC engages in a consultative process with witnesses is for him to guide them on legal technicalities. If the SC has no role to play in the content or in the legal technicalities, then there is no need for a consultation to take place between him and witnesses. So, thinking that to guide witnesses is actually far-fetched and untrue, to say the least. We must never proceed on that note, Chair, because we are going to mess things up. Because if we agree on that, then witnesses must just submit statements without having a consultation with the SC. They must just submit them so that we can solely blame witnesses and their legal teams. Here we're blaming the legal team, our legal team, the senior counsel. These are the issues that he must identify and deal with during the consultative process. We just wanted to address that. Chair, like we said, we support the idea that let's move on, but we just need one clarity from the witness. In the original affidavit, Chair, because I just want to be practical. I think under page 2, the topic there is contents. It says that in the original affidavit, on page 16, the witness will talk about the minister's directive of the 31st. And on page, okay, then in the supplementary affidavit, on page 2 again, the witness is making an indication again that he will talk about the directive of the minister. Who, on the same page of the supplementary affidavit, the witness is saying on page 22, he will talk about the knowledge of PKTT. That's how it's written. And in the original affidavit, He says on page 3, he will talk about knowledge of the PKT team. Now, the question that we have here, Chair, is when you talk about the same issues in different statements, are you making amendments or you are making a supplementary of what has not been contained in an original affidavit? Now you supplement it in a supplementary affidavit under the same topic. I'm not sure if my question is clear, because that's what triggers our confusion as well. When you talk about the same issue, when you address the issue which has been addressed already here, what is the intention? Do you intend to amend or you intend to supplement what is contained here in the original affidavit? So that when we move on, Chair, we move with a correct understanding of his intentions.
Yeah.
That is a clarity that we have. Thank you.
Mr. Nkabinde, remember, you are still under oath. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. My understanding how I outlined the topics is that in that specific topics, there are things that I wanted to clarify, to supplement. So I wanted to make it easier that what I'm supplementing in this topic, you will find it in page so and so, because even when you read in my supplementary, I'm referring also to a certain page and a paragraph of the main statement. This is what I'm amplifying and I'm supplementing, and more of clarifying. Thank you, Chair.
No, I think we are fine with the response.
The last will be Honorable Matthews.
Thank you, Chair. Just to clarify, when we used Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's supplementary statement, it wasn't because we were that we did not understand that the dynamics were different between the supplementary statement and his original statement. We didn't use that as an example on that. We used it as an example to indicate the process that we used to make sure that we do not compromise ourselves as a committee, and that we use the opportunity to fix it so we could proceed in that manner. So it wasn't that we were under some delusion that the two are the same. And just on the issue, and we're going to conclude now on the issue of amending a statement and clarifying. There's a difference between clarifying points in a main statement and changing it. So we will note that there are dates that need to be changed in the main statement. It's not clarifying. Literally, dates needed to be changed, not clarifying. So that must also be noted. And I think the committee must be cognitive of the decision that we've taken today. And when we go into deliberations, what's going to happen. And also our evidence leaders must also be cognitive of the situation that they've placed us in, who are representing the people of this nation, by just not doing something very simple of just saying that this is a statement instead of a supplementary statement, because we still don't have an explanation why it is a supplementary statement, because all it needed to be was just a statement, and we would have not wasted an entire hour discussing something like this that has huge legal implications. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, honorable members. Let's do this. Number one, all of you as members of this committee, I do not have any doubt that your intention is to work in the best interest of the people of South Africa. And number two is that you want to do your work very diligently and very meticulously, because you are lawmakers. You are the first to observe the law of this country. and make sure that you defend and protect it. I also want to persuade you, honorable members, that stop sniping at each other and focus on the work that we must do. I know that you come from different ideological persuasions, you come from different political quarters. Talking back at each other is not going to help us. Let's focus on the work as a team. That is what will help us to achieve what we want to do. SC, the members have made very important observations. Yeah. And the last time when a similar observation was made, I said that we accept that we were not perfect. I remember when I did an interview with one television station. I told them that there was a footballer in Italy in the name of Franco Baresi. Franco Baresi is one of the very few players in history to have played in 5 World Cups. He featured for the first time in 1978. When the World Cup was played in Italy in 1990, he was there. And apparently in the USA 1994, he was still there. 5 World Cups from 1978. In that illustrious career, he unfortunately conceded 8 own goals. But that did not take away his illustrious achievements. So I want to say to you that when criticism is made, take that criticism in good light. It must not break your spirit. You must take it as something that is well intended and that members appreciate the work that you do. And even after a hard day of work, sitting alone, you may still feel that it was not enough, you could have done better. And where members make these critical observations, I want to exhort you to ensure that we improve so that the work of the committee is not scuppered. Honorable Matthys is right that we sat here for an hour having to discuss the form. Not even the content. I think it was only one paragraph that Honorable Nomvalo wanted to be clarified, but discussing the form of the statement. So I think it's a thing that that we must improve on. But at the end of the day, honorable members, I have said it that as the chairperson of this committee, I would not even wish the criticism to go on anybody. I take responsibility for everything. You know, when you are a driver of a bus, passengers can sit at the back, some even drink, some take their provisions and start eating and dancing in the bus. But if the bus gets a puncture, the driver must explain to passengers, how did it happen that we got a puncture? Why did you bring us this kind of a tire here or this kind of a bus here? So I'm taking responsibility on behalf of everybody. So we are going to proceed. We are not going to administer oath today because we administered oath on you, Mr. Nkabinde. You are still under oath. And let me remind you what we said so that we don't get stuck in the proceedings. When we parted with you last week, and I think this is what is going to help us in the proceedings today, because this is what stopped our proceedings last night. We said that when you come back today or whatever day we shall have decided, before we proceed, we are going to check with you that you have put the helmet of integrity on your head. And I can see today you have that helmet of integrity. We said that you will put the badge of conscience. And that badge of conscience is here with us today, a necklace of morality and amulets of ethics, because that is what will give us a crown of credibility. So we are going to proceed in that way. Our presumption is that the helmet is there, the badge is there, the necklace is there, and the amulets are there. SC and Mr. Nkabinde, your time starts now, and I want to wish both of you good luck in leading evidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. No more own goals. Mr. Nkabinde, again, welcome this afternoon, and thank you for your cooperation. At your last appearance before the committee, you were granted a break to allow you time to verify and to supplement some aspects in your witness statements, which we will deal with. You deal with it it's on page 13 of your supplementary affidavit. From paragraph 49 onwards on page 13. So perhaps you, from 49 to 54, you can just summarize for us what efforts you made to address the shortcomings in your original statement, which were highlighted by the Honourable Committee.
Thank you, Chair. To summarize my efforts to confirm precise dates, what I have done, I consulted with the personal assistant to the minister.
Minister Mkhwanazi.
To the Minister Mkhwanazi.
Yeah.
I consulted with him if I can have access to the minister's calendar, because the minister's activities will be precisely as to in relation to the dates I'm looking for. Another effort, I instructed my lawyers to write a letter to Brigadier Gunene, if at least can I have access to check the relevant dates, even if they don't give back my gadgets, just to go through my dates. But unfortunately, there were no response from that letter. There was not even an acknowledgement received. So with the help of the calendar of the minister, including with the travel agencies looking into the traveling itineraries of the minister, then I was able to be precise with the dates of a sequence of events that are relevant to the committee, Chair.
Thank you. So you still didn't have access to your cell phone, to your gadgets? that was seized during the search and seizure operation that was led by Brigadier Kuneni.
Can you repeat your question?
I said you still have not had access to your gadgets, your mobile devices,
Yes,
that were seized during this operation earlier in October.
yes, that's correct.
So these dates that you now refer to, you reconcile that with the personal diary of Minister Mkhwanazi's PA.
That's correct, Chair.
Okay. So let's go there. Can I refer you to your original affidavit? To paragraph 75. It's under the subheading Brown Mkhwanazi on page 24. And it goes through to 83. You see that?
Yes, that's correct.
And at paragraph 75, you said, as indicated, I was present at the Portfolio Committee meeting of police on 5 March 2025. During this meeting, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi indicated to the meeting that I confirmed to him that Brown Mkhwanazi was a person who is close to the minister. And then in the following paragraph, in this regard, I wish to clarify that I received a call from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi on 30 September while I was with the minister on a visit to Lusikisiki in relation to the killings that had happened in Lusikisiki. So that is where we